Let's get to our England squads, Scott. We were doing this a little bit earlier on. It's tough.
We were. Have you narrowed it down?
It's tough. I've got 23 names.
Go on, do you want to go first?
But it's tough. One of them's another, to be honest. So that shows you.
Wow.
The third choice goalkeeper, Sam Johnston, would have been there.
Yep.
He's now missing for the rest of the season, and he will miss the Euros. So we need a third choice goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a muchness between Jack Butland, Dean Henderson, Nick Pope. I don't think he'll be fit. If he is, I think it would be him, but I don't think he'll get fitness before the end of the season.
I thought he was going to be fit towards the end of April, which would give him a...
Nick Pope.
Yeah.
Okay, well then Pope, he's in. Right?
If he's,
happy with that?
if he's had some games, I'd go Pope.
Dean Henderson, I don't. Listen, this player is definitely not playing the third choice goalkeeper. So I don't. Whoever gets brought, yeah, exactly. Just make him like a good character.
There'll be a lot of Rangers fans not happy with us.
Well, they're not going to play, are they? I mean, Jack Butland can come if he wants to, but Pickford and Ramsdale are certainly going to be number 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I've chosen. I don't know what theory you've used to pick your 23. Pretty much 2 players in every position for a 4-3-3. That's what I think England will play. And so that's how I've tried to pick it.
Mine's more of a 4-2-3-1. Okay. But anyway.
Well, let's hear yours.
So, right backs, Walker and Trippier.
Oh, I've got Trippier in as a left back.
Okay.
And I've got Walker in as a right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He ain't playing right back.
But I've put him in the squad as a right back who can play midfield. So we both got him in the squad.
He's a midfielder who can play right back. Okay. He's not playing.
It's going to make it difficult.
Gareth.
It's going to make it difficult when you come to midfield if you put Trent in that area. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, okay.
So I've included him as a player that can play in a multitude of positions, but he's in as a right back. Trippier's in as a left back, and I've included Luke Shaw if he's fit. Yeah.
And Ben Chilwell. So they're my 2 left backs.
So Chilwell's in for you. I haven't got him in mine.
Yeah. Why?
Like I've just said, I've put Trent in as a right back.
So you'd have Trippier as left back over Ben Chilwell?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Centre backs is tough.
Well, yeah, it is actually. I mean, John Stone's absolutely nailed on, and I would do Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I've got him too.
Despite the criticism that he seems to get all the time. And actually, I feel that Lewis Dunk did play himself out.
I agree.
Which is unfortunate because I think he has again done really well, and I think Joe Gomez has had a wonderful season playing out of position all over the back four, and at times as a holding midfielder as well. But I just thought he struggled in these last 2 games as well. So I'm actually going to go for Ezri Konsa.
I've got him,
and if fit, Mark Guehi.
And I've got him as well.
Have you?
I think Mark Guehi is a favourite of Southgate. He appears a lot for England, to be honest, when he is fit. So. Yep. I think he will be there.
He's done well for England when he's played.
Yeah, Maguire and Stone's definitely going. Konsa, again, I've chosen him. He's probably the 4th choice centre-back, but as he can play right-back as well, if we need to, in an emergency. I thought he did
really well against Brazil and also Belgium. So fair play to him.
Konsa is in for me too. Midfield is tough. There's going to be a lot of good players missing here.
Well, I've been talking about Jordan Henderson, the fact that even if he doesn't play, he's a good person to have. You need good characters if you're going to be away for a long time, but Kobbie Mainoo, for me, has just come in and absolutely blitzed everything. I mean, his cameo performance against Brazil was good enough, but player of the match, man of the match last night, just superb. So, Rice.
Yeah.
Trent.
Yeah, I've already got him.
Mainoo.
Yeah.
And then it's a choice between Gallagher or Jordan Henderson. Now, I think Gareth will go with Jordan Henderson. But I'm going to go with Conor Gallagher. I think he just adds more on the pitch.
I think Southgate will go with Henderson, so I've put Henderson in.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why I chose Henderson over Gallagher, because, like I said, I tried to pick 2 players for every position. So when I was looking at the Declan Rice, the holding role, I thought, right, if Rice is injured, who would be a player who more naturally can sit and hold in front of the back 4? And I was looking around the squad, and I don't think Gallagher can do that. Calvin Phillips is so badly out of form. He doesn't like James Ward-Prowse. So it has to be Jordan Henderson. But actually, if you look at how Henderson was used during this window, doesn't seem like he wanted to see him out there. He wanted to take a look at other players. Now, maybe we know what Jordan Henderson can do. We know what his value is to England, so we don't need to take a closer look at him. Plus, given, he's already moved once during the season, the physical demands maybe on him at his age, he maybe thought, look, I'll give him a bit of a rest.
I don't think it was that, but I think he wanted to look at other people.
Yeah.
And Kobbie Mainoo just came out just smashing it.
So we argue, another position that we argue, only the second so far, by the way, where there's debate between me and you, Scott.
Okay.
I've got Henderson, you've got Gallagher.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in midfield, I've got Bellingham, obviously, nailed on. I've got... What, no?
No, absolutely. But, I kind of don't see him as a midfielder now, even though he is. And I kind of would like him alongside Rice to then push on as an 8 in that 4-2-3-1. But he's seen as a number 10 because he's bossing it at Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world. So I kind of see him as one of the further forwards. I mean, it's funny how we look at Maddison as a 10. We now look at Bellingham as a 10, and yet we see Bellingham as a midfielder. But again, I think we're splitting hairs there anyway.
Number 10 position, I've got Foden and Maddison. Do you agree?
So I've got Maddison in and Bellingham.
Yeah.
And I think Foden can play anywhere.
Okay, so he's in?
So I've got, absolutely.
Okay, so Gallagher's the only place we disagreed in the midfield.
Yes.
You haven't brought anyone else as a midfielder?
I've got 4 holders. And Gallagher probably isn't even really a holder, but, again, he can be that sort of second pivot to be able to push on.
6 players left. This is going to be a debate for us, I'm sure, because I've got, if he gets fit, comes back and gets fit, Jack Grealish will be in the England squad.
Right, should we do the nailed on ones, like Harry Kane?
Oh, no, Kane's
Saka.
there, Saka's there. I've got Jared Bowen in mind.
Yeah, me too.
I think he really played himself into
sensational in these 2 games again, and I think Gareth said it was his best game he's ever played for England. And he again, this is what you want, and it sounds harsh, but to other players who will be out, and it is harsh. But these are the games where, if this is a Euro semi-final, it's all on this game. You've got to deal with that pressure. And I thought Jared Bowen absolutely dealt with that pressure.
I also think his form, if he was playing for one of the big clubs in the top 6, we'd be looking at him through a different lens. He's gone out there, he's performed, he's scored goals, he's got assists. He's in good form, and you need to take players in form to tournaments. So
do you know what? He's been in form for the last 5 or so years, going back to when he was playing for Hull.
Yeah. So Bowen's definitely in for me. I've got Ivan Toney in as well.
Me too.
As the second choice forward.
I think
Craig, the Villa fan's not happy with either of us.
I love, and isn't that what football is all about? That tribalism, supporting one of your own. And I get it. I do get it. Ollie Watkins, I'm a big, big fan of. I think he adds so much. But in terms of I don't think he trusted himself in the way that Ivan Toney trusts himself, in terms of dropping off and getting that sort of centre-back behind him. But I'm still going to take that first touch. I'm going to bring in other players, whereas Ivan Toney did. Harry Kane does. Ollie Watkins didn't. He was always looking for those channel runs all the time. He had something different, but for me, Ivan Toney made a greater impact.
So here's where we'll probably differ. The final 2 forwards, I've got Jack Grealish, as I mentioned, and I've got Marcus Rashford.
Do you know what? I've got Rashford in, but I've got next to it Lucky.
Yeah, me too.
Lucky. I think he's one of those who, Graham Souness used to say, it's not a tap, you can't just turn it on and off. I think he's one of those who probably just about can. He hasn't been good enough this season, for a number of reasons, and we don't need to go down that road again. But I just think in a major tournament, he would hurt defenders, and he'd be bang up for it as well. Yeah. So I'm having him in.
Okay, Rashford's in as well. So we're pretty
20,
pretty similar. Yeah.
So I've gone
20.
Anthony Gordon.
Final spot.
Jack Grealish, again, another player. Craig, being a Villa fan, probably won't be happy with that. but Jack struggled this season. He struggled for fitness. He struggled for form. I think Anthony Gordon, again, I love the way he talked both before and after the game. This is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. It's the greatest day of my life. There was never any doubt. I wanted to play for England. I want to play for my country. And he played like that as well. Yes, he's a little bit naive. Yes, he's, tactically, he's perhaps not exactly in the right positions, but neither is Marcus Rashford. Neither sometimes is Raheem Sterling. And the way he played, his directness, again, not phased at all. Him on one side, Bowen on the other. I thought they were excellent. Both for me would be like a reserves coming off the bench. But as a fullback, I'd hate to be coming up against him.
What we do know for sure, because we listed all the players who Southgate has picked for England over the last 18 or so months, plus the players who were kind of, stalwarts for England, the likes of Sterling, etc. And there were about 41 players on the list. So Southgate has a big, big job on his hands.
There's just one player I'd like to mention who I haven't got in, and I feel really guilty for it. Cole Palmer.
Yeah. Look, he's had a good season.
I'm surprised he didn't get any minutes. That tells me a lot.
Okay, all right. It was tough to pick. Southgate's got a big job on his hands. He's going to pick an extended squad. Don't know how many because of the FA Cup final, Champions League, Europa League, etc. 2 preparation friendlies, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Iceland. They'll be on the 3rd and 7th of June before the squad fly to Germany. The final squad likely to be submitted on the deadline day. That's the 7th of June after the final friendly prep game, England's first game of the tournament. The 16th of June. If anyone's injured, they can withdraw up to the day before the first game and can be replaced by a player on a standby list. So we will know much more when we get to June, I am sure.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.